This very nature of violence is unpredictable. Once you committed violence, then another violence, counter-violence, go like that. And I think we have many, many examples on the world affair. Since violence involved a lot of unexpected sort of consequences always happen. Gandhiji carried struggle of India's independence through non-violent. And then recently, South Africa, under the leadership of Nelson Mandela and also Bishop Tutu. In spite of their early period or working there, but then later they truly followed non-violent way. So after they got independence, real democracy, comparatively much smoother. Very good. Come on, the British also. Deputy High Commissioner or something. So just I want to express to you, it's just last few days some sort of sad things in London. When I heard that through BBC, I really shocked and surprised. I consider England or Britain quite a matured nation. And law-abiding, peaceful. So, frankly speaking, if such things happen in Bangladesh or Karachi or these things, then I feel it's okay. This is quite understandable. But in England, in London, I really felt a little sort of real sad. So I think now, so since you are here, I really feel, of course I have no direct responsibility, no direct sort of contact, connection, but I'm a human being. So therefore, I hope, now this instance, I think you should, as the government or concerned people, should carry more sort of research. There are many different sort of courses, but I think study thoroughly. Then, again, as I mentioned earlier, I think education, in the field of education, I think some relations. So you need long-term sort of strategy to answer these problems. So that, of course, sorry. The rest of the audience is no direct connection. Yes.
The next question is from Margarita Stanky from the Wall Street Journal. The question is, how will the coming to power of Dr. Losam Sangye as Tibetan Prime Minister in exile change your engagement with political issues relating to Tibet?
He already stated the basic sort of way of approach, middle approach, he will follow continuously. And also he ready to talk with Chinese officials. He mentioned that. So same.
There is a Prema Sridevi from
But actually, we usually describe our administration as the Tibetan Central Secretariat. Formally, we never use the word of exile government or prime minister. One occasion in Delhi, my meeting with some big Indian media people, one our friend, a staunch supporter about the Tibetan independent movement. He described our elected political leadership as a prime minister. And then I immediately made correction. We never use the word of prime minister. It's simply political leadership, like that.
There is a question posed by Prema Sridevi of Times Now News Channel. She asks, His Holiness, the Dalai Lama's envoy, Tele Lama, was arrested by Nepal police while Tele Lama was addressing problems of Tibetan refugees. Do you think Nepal is becoming more hostile towards Tibetan refugees because of Chinese influence? Your thoughts and feelings after envoy Tele Lama's arrest?
I think better to ask Losang Sangye. Spiritually, Nepal, Tibet, something like brothers, sisters, very close link. But these particular thing, I think more political nature. I think better to ask political leadership.
There's a question from Justice M.N. Rao, Chairman, National Committee for Backward Classes, Government of India. He asks, when the demand is only for provincial autonomy, why a government in exile for Tibetans in India?
Obviously, there are about 100,000 Tibetan refugee communities here. They are also in Europe, many countries in Europe, and also in America, North America, and Canada, and United States, and also in some Tibetan in Arab area, like some Arabian countries. There are some Tibetans, mainly Tibetan Muslims, Muslim Tibetan there. So, we have the responsibility to look after them. Oh, what happened? Then here, like in India, our main sort of task and responsibility to give modern education, plus our own traditional education and value. So there must be some central organization, and then also look after Tibetan settlement. So there must be some organization. So we are carrying these words, and also real our boss is 6 million Tibetan people inside Tibet, but they have no. But you see, they have no sort of opportunity to express what they are feeling. No freedom. It's sort of expression, slightest sort of resentment, house arrest, sometimes serious sort of torture, like that. So therefore, we are very helpful Tibetan in a free country. We have to carry their wish or their voice. Yeah. So, therefore, we have to work these things for we organize our own sort of organization, like that. Yes?
Zia Haq from Hindustan Times asks, His Holiness, how to solve the problem of terrorism, particularly what some people call Islamic terror?
Oh, if you really want to Islamic terror, then ask those Muslims. You should not say that way. Unfortunately, in recent years, some media, and even I think some sort of writers, you see, create impression. Islam tradition itself something a little bit militant type. But totally wrong, unfair. Since 2000, since September 11th event, the anniversary, the first year anniversary, I was in Washington. In Washington, I think National Cathedral, some sort of big sort of meeting took place. They invited me. So at that sort of say, occasion, I expressed some sort of mischievous people, background Muslim. Due to that, generalize whole Islam is unfair. Some mischievous people in all traditions, among the Christians, among the Hindus, among the Buddhists, among Jews, even among Tibetan Buddhists, also some mischievous people there. So that, you see, cannot sort of represent the main sort of what's the believer or the tradition. So I think the word the Islamic terrorism, I think that's not good. Some sort of mischievous people. So in any way, so firstly, then I think this connection, another sort of point, 1,000-year-old, each tradition, the concept of one religion, one truth. That sometimes, you see, people really, you see, some people really believe, and also I think due to lack of awareness, the other tradition. I think India, much better. 1,000 years, take for granted, there are so many different traditions there. Otherwise, like Tibetan, and previously, we remain isolated, except a few Muslims, I think a few hundred Muslims there, I think last 4 centuries. So we quite, we know Muslim community, their God, Allah, and they have their own sort of way of prayer and certain things. Except that, very little contact with outside world. So then, almost you see, concept of one truth, one religion, Buddhism, Muslim. That kind of feel. Due to lack of awareness, lack of contact. After we came to India, new opportunity, meeting with people from different traditions, and actually exchange their sort of inner experiences. Immense help to understand the other tradition. So philosophical field is big differences. It is necessary because there are people who have different mental disposition. So therefore, it is necessary, different way of approach. But the important is what the real message, what is the real purpose of this different philosophy? The same. Practice of karuna, practice of metta, or compassion, or kindness, and with that, the practice of tolerance, practice of forgiveness. So here, forgiveness, I sort of telling the people, I think sin and the sinner, one example. God, I think, always loved sinner. But God never sort of loved sin. So we can make distinction, sin and sinner. So, like the people who involve violence, as far as their action, violence is concerned, we have to oppose fully, thoroughly. But the actor of violence, we must show our affection, our concern. And the work opposing their wrong action, out of sense of compassion, sense of concern of well-being of those people who committed violence. So that's the way I think, easier to understand sin and sinner. God always gives sort of forgiveness. Now, sin. But sin is concerned, always sort of oppose. Clear. So that's the real meaning of forgiveness. Forgiveness does not mean you accept others' sort of wrongdoing. And in order to carry sort of countermeasure, does not mean we keep hatred or anger towards them. No, that's important. So, these problems, as I already mentioned, you see, they're long, very complex sort of thing. So very much difficult. Oh yes, I'm not telling you, see, the concept of one truth, one religion. Now, for one individual practitioner, the concept of one truth, one religion is important. That brings single-pointed faith. It's very good, very important. But in the terms of community, in the terms of humanity, there are already, last 1,000 years, already many different religions, many different faiths already there. If you sort of ignore that, it's unrealistic, ignorance. You must accept the reality. So there are so many different religious traditions there. So several religions already there. So now we must make distinction. In individual case, one concept of one truth, one religion, very relevant. In the terms of community, concept of several truth, several religion is very relevant. So no problem. Now here, this whole individual, yes, still very relevant. One truth, one religion. But in the terms of this group of people, in the whole, already there are different religious sort of practitioners there. So already the reality is already exists several religions, several truth, already there. So that also I think is important in order to create closer understanding with mutual respect, mutual appreciation, in order to promote religious harmony. I think India can, lead the promotion of religious harmony. I often see telling, I think you, my spiritual brother, I think Baya, I think you already know. I, as a sort of chela of India, or messenger of India, so my own level as a messenger of India, I am quite active regarding promoting of religious harmony. Now time come, my boss, that's you Indian, this is my boss. Now my boss must be more active promotion of religious harmony. Otherwise, you see, boss looks very holy, doing nothing. And I, as a small person here, messenger, a student of India, running here and there and talking. And some people may say, this is Dalai Lama's own creation. No, this is India's tradition. I'm carrying India's tradition. So now my boss, Indian, must be more active, whether government level or whether individual level, she must be more active. Show the world that religious harmony is possible. India, 1,000 years, we follow that. Recently, I was in Jaipur, or Rajasthan. I think, Jodhpur. I met one European, he introduced me, he's a Romanian. He carried some research about India's sort of harmony of religions. Then he told me he visited one village in Jaipur Rajasthan, Muslim community, Muslim village. Only 3 Hindu families he found, but only 3 Hindu families in quite big sort of Muslim village. You see, no fear, very friendly. He's surprised. He told me like that. So that's India's tradition. It is actually exists, not just word, mere word, but actually it exists. Now this, you see, further sort of promote these things, and then tell world. If may I say so, I think among the Muslim brothers sisters, you see, sometimes you see between Shia and the Sunni, some unnecessary sort of problems there. So Indian Muslim, one occasion in Ladakh, I asked when Ladakhi Sunni and Shia come together to see me, so I told them, oh, now you, here Shia and Sunni, live, no problem, together. So now this spirit must show those Muslim countries, those Muslim brothers, sisters, who remain a little bit distant each other. I think the Indian Muslim, I think should take Kasoda, more active in this field. That's how I feel. What do you think?